The moment Claire reached across the library table and quietly whispered, "Would you kiss me for real?" Every sound around me seemed to disappear. Hundreds of students filled the university library in Columbus, Ohio. Yet all I could hear was my own heartbeat. Just an hour earlier, she had begged me to pretend to be her love interest for a class presentation about human relationships. I thought it was nothing more than another assignment. I had no idea that one unexpected question would force me to confront the walls I had spent years building around my heart. Before we continue, if you believe in kindness, hope, forgiveness, compassion, and second chances, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs encouragement, leave a thoughtful comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps these heartfelt stories reach more people every day. My name is Nathan, and unlike most students on campus, I rarely spoke unless someone spoke to me first. College was supposed to be a fresh start after losing my father during my senior year of high school, but grief had a strange way of following me. While everyone else laughed in crowded cafeterias and celebrated weekends together, I buried myself in textbooks and part-time work. I convinced myself that staying distant was safer than risking another painful goodbye. Most classmates saw me as quiet, serious, and impossible to know. Claire, however, never accepted that version of me. She was known for her confidence, kindness, and ability to make everyone feel included. Instead of judging my silence, she treated it as though there was simply a story waiting to be heard. We became partners for a psychology project, exploring emotional connection and trust. Our professor encouraged creative presentations, and Claire suggested we act as two people falling in love to demonstrate how vulnerability changes human behavior. I laughed nervously, assuming she was joking, but she insisted it would make our presentation memorable. Against every instinct, I agreed. Over the next several weeks, we spent countless afternoons studying together. What began as rehearsing scenes slowly turned into real conversations. She learned about my father, about the nights I worked at a grocery store to help my mother pay bills, and about the fear that loving people only guaranteed future heartbreak. In return, I discovered that Claire carried her own hidden burdens. Her parents had divorced years earlier, leaving her constantly wondering if lasting love even existed. Behind her cheerful smile was someone desperately searching for proof that people could stay when life became difficult. The day of our presentation arrived, and surprisingly, everything felt natural. Our classmates applauded as we demonstrated trust, forgiveness, and emotional honesty through carefully planned scenarios. When the professor dismissed the class, everyone congratulated us on how believable our performance had been. I expected the project to end there. Instead, Claire asked if we could meet in the library one last time to organize our notes before submitting everything. That quiet afternoon became the turning point neither of us expected. As we sorted papers across the wooden table, she stared at me with an expression I had never seen before. Her voice trembled ever so slightly as she admitted that somewhere between rehearsing fake emotions and sharing real memories, the line between acting and reality had disappeared. Then came the question that left me speechless. She asked if I would kiss her for real, not because the assignment required it, but because she wanted to know whether what she felt was genuine. For a long moment, I couldn't answer. The fear I had carried since losing my father returned with overwhelming force. I wanted to believe in happiness again, yet I was terrified that opening my heart would only lead to another loss. Claire didn't pressure me. She simply smiled with quiet understanding and said that whatever my answer was, she was grateful for my friendship. That simple act of patience shattered something inside me. For the first time in years, someone wasn't asking me to become someone else. She was accepting the broken version of me exactly as I was. Instead of rushing into a dramatic moment, I reached for her hand. I told her that I didn't know how to stop being afraid overnight, but I wanted to learn. I admitted that the bravest thing I had done in years wasn't agreeing to a classroom performance. It was trusting someone enough to tell them the truth. Tears gathered in her eyes, not from sadness, but from relief. The kiss that followed was gentle, respectful, and quiet, surrounded by shelves filled with stories about people searching for hope. Ours had finally become one of them. Life didn't suddenly become perfect after that day. We still faced exams, family struggles, financial stress, and moments of uncertainty, but we faced them together. Claire encouraged me to reconnect with dreams I had abandoned, while I reminded her that real love isn't measured by grand gestures, but by showing up every single day. My mother later told me she hadn't seen me smile that genuinely since my father passed away, and in that moment I realized healing often begins when someone chooses to stay instead of walking away. Before this story comes to an end, I'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment and tell us about a moment when kindness, patience, or a second chance changed your life. Your story might encourage someone reading the comments today. Years later, whenever people ask how we met, we simply smile and say that it all started with a class project that was supposed to be pretend. What neither of us expected was that the greatest lessons weren't the ones we presented to our professor. They were the ones we taught each other. Sometimes the strongest relationships aren't built through perfect timing or dramatic promises. They're built when two imperfect people choose honesty over fear and hope over loneliness. If this story touched your heart or reminded you that love, faith, and second chances are still possible, please support the channel by liking this video, sharing it with someone who needs encouragement, subscribing for more inspiring stories, and letting us know your thoughts below. Your kindness helps keep stories like this alive, and you never know whose heart your support might brighten today.